I got the Victrix FS Pro. I feel like baller for buying it as a first stick, but you convinced me with the fancy guitar argument. I don't know exactly what I said in the video, and that's pretty much what's happened with this. This is the tool that fuels you with excitement, and it's the same thing with the guitar. When you pick up a certain guitar, you actually start to want to play riffs. Sometimes it's the cheapest guitar you own, sometimes it's the most expensive guitar you own. But one thing that I do feel about when you buy a guitar, for example, if you buy a guitar for someone else as their first guitar, it's equally as important to buy a guitar that's not too expensive as it is important that you buy them a guitar that doesn't hurt their fingers. Because the stick that you give someone as their first stick, that's gonna leave a lasting impression on how it felt to play the game. And for example, when a lot of people played on Arcade Stick for the first time, it was in an arcade, playing on like Sanwa parts, which are, it's not that they're ultra quality parts, it's just that they're standard and they don't break that easily because they've been built to last. So I feel the same way about guitars. It's just like it's important that people have a good experience when they first start, but at the same time you have to balance it with not buying anything too flash. Yes, I bought a fancy guitar 2 years in and it changed the way I approached it every day, so that argument really connected with my experience. Oh right, excellent. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, the reason I feel so passionately about the don't buy a bad guitar at the start argument, I say it's not really an argument, but the reason I say that is because the first guitar I ever bought, oh, where's my guitar? It's been stolen. I used to have a Fender Strat there. The first guitar I ever bought was an Ovation copy, like one of those models that wasn't actually sold. I can't remember who makes Ovation. Are they an American company? It doesn't really matter. I didn't have an official Ovation. I had a copy Ovation. And the thing about the copies is the lower quality ones, like the necks begin to warp a little more quickly. Like even though it's got a truss rod, like no matter how tightly I tightened it, it wouldn't fold back into the right space. Anyone who doesn't play guitar is probably losing it right now. They're like, what are you talking about? The point is, I played one of those imitation Ovation guitars, and because it was bent, when you put the string down, like you had to push about 2 centimeters before you could fret the strings, and your fingers were bleeding by the time you'd played for like half an hour. And that really put me off guitar. Not enough that I quit, but it really put me off practicing. And then after that, I got a Yamaha RGX. I don't think that's what it's called, but it was a Yamaha with a Floyd Rose, and it was silky smooth. It was completely different. Like you didn't even know that you'd fretted the note. You didn't even know you were pressing the strings because it was so smooth. It felt so nice. And that I just practiced so hard. I played so much guitar, and then after that, my parents were like, "You want a Fender? It's yours." And they got me a Fender, and I was like, "Oh my god, my life is so good." And I've still got that same guitar. I got that guitar over a decade ago. I don't know exactly. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a very long time ago, and I've still got it. And it's not even an official American Strat. It's a Mexican Strat built in America. It was a special model called the Highway 101. The long and the short of what I'm trying to say is, it's worth sometimes not buying the cheapest controller. It is sometimes worth buying one that is one step up, so that you can prevent yourself from wanting to quit early. Sometimes the cheaper sticks can give you a poor experience, and not an experience that is representative of most people's first experience with a fighting game, because most people's first experience is with quality arcade parts that are designed not to break. Well, they break eventually, but designed not to break immediately.